The gentleman around whom this fight card was built, the undisputed UFC Flyweight champion of the world, the cannibal Alexandre Pantoja. 124 and a half, the official weight for the champion Alexandre Pantoja. All right, next fighter to the scale, making his UFC debut and competing for the undisputed UFC Flyweight championship, Kai Asakura. 124 and a half, the official weight for Kai Asakura. And with that, your UFC 310 championship main event is official. In the welterweight co-main event, the number 3 ranked contender, the undefeated Shavkat Rakhmonov. 171, the official weight for Shavkat Rakhmonov. All right, next fighter to the stage, one half of the welterweight co-main event, live on pay-per-view, the number 7 ranked contender, the undefeated Ian Machado Gary. 171, the official weight for Ian Machado Gary. And now we welcome welterweight Themba Gorimbo. 171, the official weight for Themba Gorimbo. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a lightweight prelim. Please welcome the Dream, Chase Hooper. 155 and a half, the official weight for Chase Hooper. All right, next fighter to the scale is his opponent in the lightweight division, the UFC legend, the Hall of Famer, the Carpenter, Clay Guida. 155, the official weight for Clay Guida. All right, next fighter to the scale, kicking off the pay-per-view main card in the featherweight division, Nate the Train Landwehr. 145 and a half, the official weight for Nate the Train. All right, next athlete to the stage, competing in a flyweight prelim. Please welcome Joshua Van. 126, the official weight for Joshua Van. All right, next man up, competing live on pay-per-view on the main card in the featherweight division, UFC Hall of Famer Doo Ho Choi. 146 for Doo Ho Choi. All right, next fighter up in the flyweight division, the number 14 ranked contender, custom-made Cody Durden. 126, the official weight for Cody Durden. All right, next fighter set to weigh in, one of the best featherweights in the world, the number 5 ranked contender, the undefeated Movsar Evloev. 145 and a half, the official weight for Movsar Evloev. Next up, also one of the best in the featherweight division, competing live on the pay-per-view main card, the number 13 ranked contender, Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell. 146, the official weight for Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing at a catch weight of 195 pounds, the former undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, the All-American Chris Weidman. 194 and a half, the official weight for Chris Weidman. All right, next fighter to the stage, competing in the welterweight division in a prelim live on ESPN2, Rude Boy Randy Brown. 171, the official weight for Randy Brown. Also competing in the welterweight division, we welcome Max Payne Griffin. 170, the official weight for Max Griffin. All right, next fighter to the stage is the former UFC interim heavyweight champion and the number 2 ranked contender, competing on the pay-per-view main card, Bongama Sirogan. 245 and a half, the official weight for Bongama Sirogan. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing at a catch weight of 195 pounds. Please welcome your boy, Eric Anders. 193, the official weight for Eric Anders. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim live on ESPN Plus in the heavyweight division, Lucas Dresky. 234, the official weight for Lucas Dresky. All right, next fighter set to weigh in this morning, the number 14 ranked UFC welterweight contender, Vicente Luque. 170.5, the official weight for Vicente Luque. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, competing in the featherweight division, the number 9 ranked contender and the former undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world, the Funkmaster, Aljamain Sterling. 145.5, the official weight for Aljamain Sterling. All right, next fighter set to weigh in, competing in the feature prelim live on ESPN2, the number 12 ranked UFC light heavyweight contender, former world title challenger, the Devastator Dominic Reyes. 205, the official weight for Dominic Reyes. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the heavyweight division, Kennedy Nzechukwu. 236.5, the official weight for Kennedy Nzechukwu. All right, next fighter to the stage, competing on the pay-per-view main card in the featherweight division, Kron Gracie. 144.5, the official weight for Kron Gracie. All right, next fighter set to weigh in, competing live on ESPN2 in a welterweight prelim, Bryan Battle. 175 for Bryan Battle. All right, next fighter set to hit the scale this morning, competing in the UFC's welterweight division, the Ultimate Fighter Live winner, Michael Maverick Chiesa. 170.5, the official weight for Michael Chiesa. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, competing on the pay-per-view main card, the number 3 ranked heavyweight contender, Alexander Drago Volkov. 254.5, the official weight for Alexander Volkov. All right, next fighter to weigh in, the other half of the featured prelim in the light heavyweight division, former world title challenger and the number 13 ranked contender, Anthony Lionheart Smith. 207.5, the official weight for Anthony Smith.